Good afternoon. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here at Lesedi Television. And the name of the show is Sports Sphere. This is a show where we're going to be showcasing and talking about all the sporting activities that has happened in Botswana and even outside Botswana. This is our first edition. As you can see us that we are rolling. And my name is Thomas Motsewakhumo. I'm not alone in the studio to be talking about what we're going to be talking here. Let me take this time to welcome you to Lesedi Television.
Yeah, good afternoon, Timmy, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
In this beautiful show.
Yes, how do you feel by being part of Lesedi Television now that this is our first edition?
Yeah, it's always difficult to be part of the first initiative, you know, and you wonder how you're going to roll it. But we've been doing this thing in sports, and I hope we are going to give the viewers a wonderful show, because me and you, we always work together in sports and talking about sports every time. But it's always difficult, you know, the nerves at first sight, that's very difficult. Yeah. But we hope you are going to give it all.
For the viewers at home, I know that you are wondering what is it that you're going to be talking about. You're going to be touching base on football, you're going to be talking volleyball, you're going to be touching netball, you're going to be talking about the BNOC upcoming elections for the board that we are expecting as Botswana. So just recline your seat and make sure that you listen to this show as myself and Robbie, you're going to be taking about. Let's start at Botswana National Olympic Committee, or the BNOC, where they're having the elections which are upcoming on the 25th of October. And so we're going to be touching base on that. Let me just start by asking you, Robbie, you know the candidates that were there during the debate. You know them very well. They've been around in the sporting. What is your take on the three that raised their hands to say they want to be elected as the president of Botswana National Olympic Committee?
There are people who have been there in Botswana sports, and they'll be running sports in various federations or sports codes. And with their experience, and I think the voters are going to have a difficult time in trying to choose the best candidate amongst the three, because when you listen to their manifestos, they are trying to address issues that they know that are happening in Botswana. So that they are coming in to solve the problems that are there in the Botswana National Olympic Sports Commission. So there are people who know exactly what has been happening. So we are going to see how it is going to roll during elections, and see how the voters are going to, whom are they going to choose to lead the board. Because you'll see that that position is a very crucial position. Because you talk of the kind of that position is the one which is aligned with the mandate of the Botswana National Olympic Sports Commission. Mm-hmm. It is the one that is going to be running the vision as well, and then the mission of the Sports Commission. So that is the very, very critical position, Timmy.
We have seen previous boards that have been performing at BNOC. What is your take with regard to the job that they've done previously, and what is your anticipation with regard to the guys that are vying for the positions now?
My expectation is to see different faces, Timmy, because of late we've been bringing the same faces into our sport. Yet the results are not coming, so we keep on bringing faces. My wish is to see a different face that is coming in there with fresh ideas. And among the candidates, there's a lawyer there. There is Maliso, who also been there. We know Maliso is an experienced administrator who has been also trying to be voted in as the president. You remember at Botswana Football Association, he once wanted to be voted, but he wasn't that successful. There's Sitali, a well-seasoned sports administrator as well. So my wish is to see somebody bringing fresh minds, fresh ideas into sports, because we have serious challenges in sports. When a team, you have been mentioning the doping issue. That's one difficult challenge that they're facing now.
What is your take on the fact that, you know, you mentioned it, you keep on saying that people who've been there, they still want to continue, or they still want to come back into the game? If we reflect on the BNOC mandate, what is it that we have achieved so far? Do you think the results of the board is something that we can write home about?
Yeah, you think from 1980, since the inception of the BNOC, we have seen a tremendous growth in terms of participation. Yeah. We are participating in major competitions. We have brought some medals. If you can remember, the likes of Bonegel Amos, they brought medals. The likes of Wabaman, Temunsu, our 4x4 relay in 2011, 2012, they brought something. So since they've been there, I think the exposure they have given the athletes, those few athletes. But the challenge is they have to increase the number of athletes and increase the number of participation in terms of different sports codes, because they're an Olympic sports going entity. So we need to see them, those who are coming in, they bringing in new ideas that will help us have maximum participation in those games. So because of now we are talking of, I think 11 medals, including the youth ones that we got, and the last one was the bowling one, 1980 or 19 some way back. So we need that's why I say we need fresh minds to come and revive the Olympic Committee board, and then to come and increase the access and the participation of many athletes. We are always sending less than 15 athletes to major competitions. So for me, I'm interested in seeing us sending a whole team, a full team, bowling, different sports code, not only athletics.
Yeah, Robbie, I always say we always want to see an end result. But during the debate, I listened to the two gentlemen and the lady, and my question that I wanted to ask them, because I was there, I didn't have time, was about school sports. What is it that I'm going to do to make sure that we usher in new talent? Because it seems as if we want the result, but we don't want to be dealing with development. You are a sport administrator, you are a coach by profession. What is it that they need to go to do when they go into the office?
Surprisingly, I listened to those three candidates. They never mention anything. They are mentioning about development, but they don't tell us how are they going to develop. Because one, you mentioned school sports. In the absence of school sports, they never mention how they are going to tackle this issue of grassroots, because sports always started grassroots. Yeah, I'm telling you, we are not sustainable if we don't have grassroots programs. So we need to have grassroots programs. So the candidates, when they were debating, they did not speak much on how they are going to facilitate the grassroots, and then leading to youth development, and then to lead competition. All of them, they are concerned about what we already have, but they need to help to take us from the baseline and take us somewhere further. We need to have so many table hosts, Nigel Amos Kamun, yeah, we still have a challenge of women participation in athletics, or rather in different sports codes. So they did not tell us how they are going to do. They charged a bit of that. There's no one who's coming out clearly and saying, how am I going to tackle these grassroots youth development programs? Because we are seeing that dead because of lack of school sports.
If at home you are wondering, we are talking about BNOC, or Botswana National Olympic upcoming elections. And for your own information at home, the following are vying for the position of presidency. And I'm going to be mentioning other positions that are also up for grabs. Ratshepo Sitale, Mayor Ronashap, Lero Kedisamale are the three people who have raised their hands to say, look, we want to be the ones leading this organization. And there are other positions that are there at Botswana National Olympic Committee. They do have the senior vice president, which currently is being held by Ratshepo Sitale, who's also vying for the position of presidency. They do have the first vice president, they have the second vice president, and also additional members, which Mayor Ronashap is part of. And Reo Kedisamale has also served in this committee or in this board before Wanarobi. I don't know, what is your take on him? I think the problem with voters not going for him is the fact that he keeps on moving from one end to the other. But anyway, let's go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be continuing with the conversation here. Welcome back to Sports Sphere here at Lesedi Television. My name is Thomas Motsewakhumo. I'm not alone, I'm with Robert Siphambe. And before going for a commercial break, we were talking about Botswana National Olympic Committee upcoming elections. Robbie, I want to come back to you, my brother, just for us to wrap up the BNOC elections. Tell me, what is your prediction? Who are you seeing occupying that hot seat there at Botswana National Olympic Committee? Yeah,
no, like I said, it's going to be a very difficult election, especially for voters. But like I was saying, most of the people are reoccurring and they're coming. So I take it that the voters know exactly what they want and what the sports problems that we have. Who is the right candidate to come and solve those problems? Because they've been giving people what they're going to do through their manifestos. So it's up to them to see which manifesto is related to what they want and as sports people.
Yes. No, definitely, you are right there. Viewers at home, you've heard it. Robbie has said it. I think you also listen to the debates on radio, on TV. Even yourself, maybe you have a prediction or maybe a candidate that you want to see being at the helm of Botswana National Sports Commission. It is left for you. It's on the 25th of October. This coming weekend on Saturday, things will be happening. And by Monday, definitely everybody will be knowing what is happening. We're moving on with our show. We're going to Botswana Netball Association, where we know that they have a new committee. In June, they went to Palape and selected a new committee of fresh minds, of fresh people. And they're keeping the ball rolling, ladies and gentlemen. We realized that this past weekend, they were in Maung where they kick-started the Super League or the Division A League, which is the main league of clubs that we know that participate in the league, Netball League in Botswana. We're going to be talking about how things transpired, but let's start by talking about the committee, Robbie. It's a new committee, expectations are high. Obviously, the affiliates are saying, we trust you in moving this association forward.
Yeah, it's a new committee, but not new. If you can remember, these are the people who have been complaining previously about the committee that they have removed, they voted out, that the people who were complaining. So now, now they're inside. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to tackle things, because they're the ones who were complaining about the problem. But now they've been given the power to change things in the netball. Netball has been a sleeping giant for a very long time. We've been talking about the league starting, their league starting. It is just long overdue. They were supposed to start the league a very long time. And you can remember they've selected their national team, both male and female ladies teams, without having an active league. So you can imagine how the players are and what was happening in Kojoanem. But they did that successfully. So it's up to them to see. They went to Palape. The most interesting thing they were discussing in Palape was the constitution, their constitution. There were some gaps and loopholes that they felt they are hindering their progress. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to roll it out. And then with the starting of the league, how they are going to do. It's very interesting to see the teams, the BDF Cats, the teams from Francistown participating in the league. They had to start the league because they've been a sleeping giant, like I said.
When you're outside, it seems to be easier, but come inside. Let me tell you or put you through the new Botswana Netball Association Executive Committee. At the helm, or the president is Mem Popi Moathudi, the vice president technical is Reon Kabetsi Kesekang, Loeto Palalani is the vice president events, Khololosego Diradzile is the secretary general, Onika Letsenyo Ramocha is the treasurer, and we have sports development officer in Wakanedise Mduani Kemotware, and we have Regent Coach Piso, who is the marketing and public relations officer. Over the weekend, they were in Maung, Rob and the viewers at home. They were in Maung. They had a festival of events, netball events happening there, and the teams that were taking part in the festival were in the ladies side. We had BDF Cats, we have Notwani, we had Johnny, we had Police, we had Nico United, we had Traffic, we had Task, we had Maung, and Maung Heroes, in fact. And on the men's side as well, we had Maung Heroes, we had Traffic, we had Nico United, we had Thunderbolt, we had Prison, we had Police, we had Uprising, we had Notwani, and BDF. This is how things panned out. A lot of activities happened from Saturday to Sunday. What is your take on that? We saw them coming on board, and I think there was a national team selection for both men and women. And prior to that, they selected two people who are national team coaches. What is your take on them having assumed the office?
Yeah, I think it's a very good start. We can start by applauding them for appointing national team coaches. Very well qualified people, one from South Africa, well-known people who can change things. So, but it's eminent. They had to start something. So it's good to have an event such that event, so that they give players exposure and time to play. Because you remember, players need game time. So we cannot sit and say maybe we don't have funds to start a league or a tournament. So they need to do something. You remember other federations like the Volleyball Federation, they've started without money. So they have to start so that they have, in future, they have something to reflect and look back and say, when they go to sponsors, we have started, but we have a problem. They know what they're talking about. So it's good. I think so far so good for them. It's a good start. We hope for better events and more events coming up.
Robert, I had a conversation with the marketing and public relations officer in Region Pitu. He was telling me that the reason why they're taking games away from Gaborone to different centers is because teams do not have money. So they're meeting the teams halfway. What is your take on that? Because we know that, yes, our team's pockets are empty. What is your take on that?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good initiative because when you look at it, you cannot have a successful league when the teams are not well funded. So it's good to sometimes to think of what you have, the product that you are selling to people. So grouping the teams in one place for a weekend, and the next thing they'll be in Francistown in one weekend. I think that's a way of saving cost of playing every weekend and moving a team moving from here to Francistown to Francistown to play every weekend. You are here from Gaborone going to Francistown. The next weekend you are going to Mau. So it's good. It's better they group them because of lack of funds and then have something to start. I think this is going to help them as well. Like you're talking about the marketing person, to lure sponsors to them. In the future, we hope they are going to have a sponsor because they need to take the netball back to where it was. Yeah. You remember the time when we were hosting the under 20. You remember the time way back like I will find the ball, how it started, even how. And the interesting part, they have got male teams. They have got netball teams from male teams. So, but I did not see the team which we think they did not show up. I don't know what is happening because it's one of the big houses when we talk about the history of the powerhouses. We talk of netball in Botswana. So, but it's a good start at team.
Definitely. We had previous committees. They came in because they were criticizing the committee. They were saying the current committee or the previous committee was not doing well. Let's see what happens. We're going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at what is happening at Botswana Volleyball, and then we discuss the FNB and the First Division results which happened over the weekend. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sportsphere here on Lesedi Television. My name is Thomas Motsewakhumo. I'm still with Rob here. We're still tackling sports here. Like we promised that when you're switching on this show, you're going to be having a great time to hear what is happening in sports in Botswana and abroad. This time around, we're going to Botswana Volleyball Federation, where we saw a new committee coming on. I think in Botswana we have this motion of no confidence of late. It's like it's a thing, it's an in thing. Let me put it that way. We saw it at Botswana Netball Association. We also saw it at Botswana Volleyball of late. I don't know, what is your take, Robbie, that we vote in people, then after a certain period of time, we also vote them out. No, in fact, they were not voted out. It is a vote of no confidence to say, we are not voting you out, we are taking you out.
Yeah, it happens in sports. More especially, people are losing patience. People are not patient in what is supposed to be in the mandate. The other thing is, people go into leadership positions without having their objectives and the vision, what they want to drive. And then maybe they end up driving their personal interest rather than driving.
Not to interject you. Well, yes. What is the purpose of AGMs? At AGMs, we are given mandates by our affiliates.
Yes.
Are we not supposed to be following what the affiliates are saying we should be doing?
That's what we are supposed to be doing. That's where impatience comes. When people see that you are not doing the mandate that they have assigned you from AGMs, from their AGMs or special ordinary meetings or whatever, they start to have doubts in you because you are not saving what they wanted you to save. Remember, the membership are the ones who are very powerful than the committee itself, because the committee is just a steering committee, which is assigned the mandate, like you are saying. But the moment you divert from your mandate and start doing things that you are not benefiting even teams, and remember, they are using a lot of money where they are developing, they are the ones bringing the teams, so they have the power. So if you don't do your mandate, then they strike you out. So we saw it in Volleyball Federation. They removed the whole committee, and then they left only one person who was left, who is, I think, the president now, who was left. So that is the only gentleman that survived that X. Yeah. So it shows to you that people now they understand what they want for their federation. Volleyball Leone has been a sleeping giant. Remember, they played a league without a sponsor, which is very, very cumbersome for the teams. because they're the ones who are suffering, they're going, they're traveling, bringing teams for the league.
Yeah.
They had a lot of time without playing a league, but yet they want to select players for national team. So this is not bound to happen for volleyball.
Yeah, talking about volleyball, Botswana Volleyball Federation, they sent 4 players to Cape Town who were taking part in a competition. They're calling it a CAF Zone 5 Beach Series Leg 3, which was held in Cape Town, like I'm saying. We had Trevor Mandua there partnering with Musiwa Baleufi, and we also had our famous Jew, which is Jack and George, also taking part there.
So I was surprised by the results, Timmy, because it's my first time to know about Musiwa and the partner.
Even myself, right?
So now, when they go to the competition, they got silver, and then Jake and George, the usual suspects, got bronze. And you see that they're going to be participating in the Proto Elite on behalf of the Zone 6. So they've done very well. And then George and Jake, they will be the training partners for them. So which means, to me, it's growth. Yeah. Because we've been having these two gentlemen for beach volleyball for a very long time. So I was really surprised. At some point they were struggling, not having sponsors, and because there are 2 of them. But now we have 2 teams, and they are the top of the rankings. They go to position 2 and position 3 out of 19 teams. Yeah. I think it's something that we can applaud.
That is to say, the number of players have increased. Trevor and Musiwa are now there joining Jack and George, who have been the number 1 ranked beach volleyball in Zone 6, isn't it? Yes. Botswana has been ranked number 1. It means now our chances of always winning these competitions are now increasing, because now we're having 2 teams participating there. Ladies and gentlemen, they got to the final, and this means automatically that Botswana now has got 2 teams which now have qualified for FIVB Beach Pro Tournament, like what Robert was saying, which is going to be held again. I think it's also in Cape Town again. That is what they're saying. So we're saying congratulations to the 4 gentlemen who are continuously flying the blue, black and white flag very high. That is what is happening in the world of volleyball here in Botswana, and we are wishing the best to the new committee, which is being headed by Re Judge Kiwotsena. He's also a former member of Botswana Volleyball Federation Committee. He has served before. This time around, we believe they're gonna do something better. Remember, they took out Bomme, Soseletso Mahan, they took out Borendi Bolebala, and others who were also there. But it's not supposed to be a bitter pill to swallow. When people take you out, just step out such that you allow others to come in with fresh minds. We continue with our show, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're moving into football, and we're going to be taking a look at First Division football, which was happening over the weekend. Here with us, we do have the results. It's a goal, Thomas Motsewakhumo, and this is what transpired in week number 6. We saw on Friday, Dinari losing to Norton by 1-0. Yunan Flamingo Santos playing to a 0. All draw with the Union Strikers. Security Systems, they were not playing on Saturday or over the weekend. The game was postponed due to a water-lodged field, and they had to play yesterday. They play 1-1 draw with Majing. Joining Young Stars, they beat Tsetseng United by 2-1. Holy Ghost, they beat Tokweng United by 5-0. Prisons as well, they didn't play over the weekend because also of the water lodged pitch situation. They played yesterday. They won by 2-0, beating Tamaga Shooting Stars. This is how, that is how things went in week number 6 of the First Division South. Let's go to First Division North, ladies and gentlemen, to see what transpired in week number 6. We saw Tsipinyara Tigers being walloped by Sabotle FC by 1-0. JJ United losing to BR Highlanders by 2-1. And Dundu Young Fighters continuing not to be beaten away or home. They played a 1-0 draw, hosting Ferry Wanderers. Motakase Power Dynamos losing to Indonesia by 1-0. Balakalungu playing 0-0 draw with Sangoyo Bushbucks. And 11 Angels losing to Tonota FC, which are currently leading the pack in the north, because I think in Dundu they played a draw 2 games in a row, so they've overtaken them. So that is the result of First Division North. Let's now go to the FNB Premiership, which also happened sometimes last weekend. This is what transpired. Black Lions, they played 1-1 draw with Orapa United. Morupule Wanderers, they drew with Traffic 0-0. So Flamingos, they walloped Calendar Stars by 1-0. Police 11, they lost to Nico United by 1 goal. And Matebele FC played to 1-1 draw with Extension Gunners. There's a game that was played. I'm missing a game. Nico United.
Yeah, Nico United played. They won 1-0.
They beat BDF 11 by.
No, BDF was beaten by the new arrivals, the veggies.
Oh, Santa Green. Yes. Santa Green. Not Nico United. Sorry about that. Santa Green, the new kid on the block, the hammered BDF 11. So these are some of the things that are happening. We have surprises that are coming in our Premier League, which is making it more even exciting, Robbie Rob, to see new clubs or teams coming into the Premier League and still saying, look, we are not here to make numbers, but to compete.
Yeah, let me start by first division, both North and South. Yeah, it's very hot there. When you see there's tough competition, when you look at the North, Tonota FC, when you look at Ndundu, look at Inesia, those are powerhouses that are vying for automatic qualification and playoffs. It's very, very tough. You come here to South, you find TSS, new arrivals. You come, you see Majueng, the new arrivals as well. They're still fighting. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see prisons doing well because they've been there, and they now it's time for them to go up. It's going to be very, very interesting how you see and Chico at Notwani. Notwani, yeah, they've been also a sleeping giant, like I always say. But now Chico is there. They're playing very well. They're doing very well up against the Nari. It's going to be a tough competition when you look at it. And then you go to Premier League, FNB Premiership. Very tough. This is the time where coaches are going to be fired and others are going to be brought in. As you can see, there are already some movements of coaches. Coaches are going, some are coming, so some are going to be fired because of results. You look at the team like Traffic, which is not doing very well, and you know what they did last season. You look at Nico is doing very well under Javera, and they've taken a coach from Gaborone United, Khaswani, at Nico. They've added up. Traffic has taken the former Johnny Galaxy assistant coach there. And now, Nicola is on top of the log. So he's there. One of the well-organized coaches that are in the Premier League is up top there. So Township Rollers, we are going to see how they are going to come up after the issues of Lubone firing the committee, their committee, and having a new interim committee. So it's going to be interesting how to see how GU is going to take them up, because they have got 2 games in hands because of the CAF games that they were playing. We're going to see how they're going to climb up. And at the bottom there, it's very, very hot. PDF 11 with the young team. It's going to be interesting how to see how they come up after the FIFA break.
Let's see how things pan out as we go along. Today, as we speak right now, SWA Flamingos, which are at the apex of the log so far, are taking on Gaborone United at SWA Town Council Stadium in SWA. We're going to see what is going. We don't know what is going to happen anyway. We don't know what's going to happen. They're taking on Gaborone United.
With Khalid as the head coach.
Yes,
who was the goalkeeper coach.
Yes.
And they took Simila Mila, who was the goalkeeper coach at the ladies team today. We're going to see how Khalid is going to do, because he has been there, GU. So it's going to be up a hill to climb at SUA. Very difficult team, SUA, at home ground.
Thank you very much, Robbie Rob. Thanking you for being here this afternoon. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in our next episode. We're looking forward to having you watching this show again in our second edition.